All right, let's continue on. Looks like Fauci, who we've long been tired of. I know I've long been tired of. Many of you guys have been tired of. Fauci, who became a celebrity overnight considering the COVID-19 situation, says right here, as reported, Biden administration will cease the drawdown of U.S. staff seconded to the WHO and resume regular engagement with the WHO. The United States also tends to fulfill its financial obligations to the organization. Okay, so as read here, President Joe Biden's top medical advisor on COVID-19, Dr. Anthony Fauci, on Thursday announced renewed U.S. support for the WHO after it faced blistering criticism from the Trump administration, laying out the new commitments to tackle the Modelo virus and other global health issues. Fauci, speaking by video conference from pre-dawn United States to WHO's executive board, said the United States will join the UN health agency's efforts to bring vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics to people in need, whether in rich or poor countries. He said the U.S. will also resume full funding and staff report for the WHO. As stated here, I am honored, this is what Fauci said, honored to announce that the United States will remain a member of the WHO, is what he said, which is interesting. Very interesting. It says as well, they will cease the drawdown of U.S. staff seconded to the WHO. Resume regular engagement. So, this is my thing. And Tedros, which I don't know how he still has the fucking job, says this is a good day for the WHO and a good day for global health. You know, now look, I'm not in opposition to people globally working together, right? I'm a trade guy. I'm a free trade guy, of course, and I believe that when it comes to definitely people that differ so much culturally, that it's probably not good that they share a government, but it can still alleviate tensions in the event that they can at least trade with each other. So I want to be clear that I'm not against people working together, but that's not what the WHO is. And this is why I'm always talking about how we got to talk about decentralization. This is a prime example. Can you imagine that there's a situation that you guys have absolutely no say in, right? You have no say in. Doesn't matter if you vote or not. You have zero say in this. And what ends up happening is that they get to use the money that they stole from you and your kids and your kids, considering that they steal from future generations in the event that the money doesn't exist, right? Thank your beloved Treasury and your Federal Reserve for that. But they get to steal from you, future generations, also devalue your currency in the process. You know, we know that happens with the stimulus money and all that stuff. And they get to give it to these organizations, these international organizations. And this is why I'm sitting here like, there's something right here. Obviously, I say continuously that there's something fundamentally wrong. I'm repeating myself time and time when I say that. But it's not just that there's something fundamentally wrong, because we know that. But I don't know what makes people think that this shit can be resolved. Do y'all not understand how disconnected y'all are from that whole exchange? Though they're playing with your money, right? With some of your monies. Y'all are disconnected from, y'all have nothing to do with that. Nothing. You had no say in it, but you are going to have to suffer the consequences of the action. That's why there's such a problem with this massive, bloated federal government, and why I am such a proponent of decentralization and dissolving of the entire fucking the entire thing. Like, when it comes to this, the federal government, there's no reason why they should even be involved in this bullshit. None. Why are they stealing your money? Why are they giving it to other organizations? It shouldn't be a thing, but it is. Has nothing to do with you. It doesn't protect you, no matter how they try to word it. No, it's just a bunch of, you're funding a bunch of bureaucrats. That's it. And a bunch of guys that, there's probably some doctors and scientists that are involved in that. But if this is such a worthwhile effort, which is and why I had to preface that by saying I'm not against people working together internationally. Hell, I've continued to say that can still remain a thing even if the federal government is dissolved. That people, countries, nation states can work with each other. The problem is there's 300 something million fucking people in this massive geographical area that are sitting there having to, that again, this is not in any of you guys' power, where people who on your behalf make decisions for you. This could be a 100% voluntary effort. If they were actually doing something worth a while that benefited you, people would be voluntarily giving money to these organizations that come up with not policies, but you get it, research efforts that can benefit everybody globally. If it's such a worthwhile thing, they wouldn't need to steal money to do it. But that's what they do. So now they have financial obligations, and all of this money is going to be going to the WHO, their constituents. Meanwhile, you had absolutely nothing to say or no say in it. People will say, well, you got to vote. That ain't fucking you having a say in it, because none of y'all voted for Anthony Fauci. None of you. It's a problem. And until that problem is addressed, there will continue to be a problem. There is no getting the right guy in office. There is no trying to get the right guys to do this and that. There's no one guy that's going to wave a magic wand. No, it is a fundamental problem. It is an ever-growing state in the federal government, ever-growing, that continues to grow and is playing with money that ain't even fucking theirs. You can make that argument that every government does that. I will. However, what we're dealing with right now is that that's the one that we're most disconnected from. You're far more connected to your state and local government than you are with the federal government. You have virtually no power in that. None. It is so disconnected. These assholes sit up there and they link with each other all the way into Washington. I'm in fucking Texas. Yet they get to make policies that impact people in all these different geographical areas, despite them being so different. It needs to be removed. We need to get to the source of the issue. And I'm going to continue. That's going to be the theme going into the next years, as me highlighting how fucked this federal government is and why it needs to be rid of and why it needs to be eliminated. There's no repairing it. There's no trying to somehow resolve this. There's no solution here that has to do with it existing as it exists right now and it somehow being fixed. No. It is a fundamental problem. It's ruling over way too many people, and it needs to be eliminated. It does not mean that they can't enter in defense agreements or anything, mutual things that can be paid voluntarily, by the way. But that's not what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a bunch of control freaks that are playing with a lot of money. We're talking trillions of dollars right now. Trillions. When they set their little budgets, we're talking trillions of dollars yearly that they are spending. And most of it has nothing to fucking do with you. Or, more precisely putting it, it's hurting you. Get rid of it. We need a divorce.